Messianco, breaking Major League en la ciudad del sol. Here in Miami, we know who's el campeón. Leo my team, yeah. Suárez on the field, always wearing they team. Con mis fechas un win, the trio of Fabi singing muchachos. Las familias se escuchan los barrios. Esta camiseta pinky la llevan todos los guachos. Los rookies quedan sin comentarios. Messi ambetea, tiki-taki gol. El estadio Chase bañado en gloria y sudor. Aquí se ama y se respeta el balón. Florida es tu casa, acostúmbrate al calor. Estate listo pa' Messianco. Estate listo pa' Messianco.
Hello, and welcome to a special, my voice is cracking, special live post-match Inter Miami Messi and Co. episode where Messi is back. We're going to say that right now. Like, Messi is back, scored a goal. Man, we have an exciting episode ahead of us. I'm Ashley here, as always, with my co-hosts Gian and Matt. Thank you for joining us for a late post-game over past 10 o'clock here Eastern time. Messi is back, boys. Messi is back. What are we thinking? How are we feeling? We'll let people join, but how are we feeling?
Is anyone worried? I don't know. I wasn't worried. Was anybody worried? No.
No, not at all.
Hey, look, I mean, that was a other than the penalty, that was a pretty, I think, the uneventful game until the end with Messi coming in and scoring a really nice goal. I was already warming up some rice and chili, and then I'm like, I just hear goal. I'm like, dude, and it was nice, but it's good to see the captain back on the pitch. Like, I was really, as dangerous as that field looked, it was still good to see him on there.
I tweeted and breathe.
Yeah, no, basically, like, that's good. He's good. He's healthy. He didn't get injured, so that's all
we can ask for. I was super surprised the fact that he came on. I mean, but like I said last time, or in our like preview midweek show, that I knew for a fact he was going to play, but under the conditions that like or just like how the game was going about, I'm like, oh, maybe we're not going to see Messi play. But no, we saw him play for a good amount too, about 40-ish minutes. And he was running. He was looking good. It didn't seem like he was injured or anything was bothering him. And then he ended up scoring in the end. So, and the King of Kingston has made his way in Jamaica.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting game because, you know, we first saw that Messi was on the bench. And I feel like for me, I was like, okay, I do think he's going to play. He traveled, he trained. If they brought him all this way, like the plan is to play him to start to get his minutes back. But then I saw the conditions of the field, and look, shout out to Jamaica and Kingston for showing out. It was a great atmosphere, great crowd, great energy. But it had rained all day, and you know, the field, I guess maybe understandably wasn't in great condition. I don't think they, you know, it's not Cavalier's home field. It's not the field that they use that often. So it wasn't ready. We saw David Ruiz get injured, pull a hamstring early in the first half. It could have been pitch related. It could maybe not be pitch related, but regardless, you know, we were feeling all a little worried. We had gotten the penalty. Luis Suarez scored the goal, and I was like, okay. Although I really wanted it, like, I don't think Messi's coming on. They're up 3-0 in aggregate. The field isn't good, But even I was thinking, damn, that's another game he missed. It's a it's a tough opportunity with these optics. And then he came in. He came in the game in the 53rd minute, I believe, to all of our surprise. And we could all kind of give our thoughts. You know, Quasar is saying that Messi looked a little tired and rusty. I have to be honest. I thought he looked really good, actually. I thought from the minute he was on, he was making a lot of sprints for that whole match, a lot of sprints, creating a lot of chances. He looked normal to me, and you know, that puts a smile on my face. Last kick of the game, he scores a goal. Jamaica's happy. Inter Miami's happy. Messi and Co. is happy. Whew, that's one thing to check off. Are feeling the same?
Yeah, I mean, they did what they had to do. That's what they went in there just to take care of business. They didn't have to do anything that stood out. They didn't have to go overboard. I think that they went in, obviously, with a really good result, 0-2, or rather 2-0, going in there. And it ended up being quite a similar game that at the one that we had at Chase Stadium, where it was really just possession controlled by Inter Miami and Cavalier just trying to counterattack. But in this case, for some reason, they looked a little. They looked not as good playing at home than they did away. Maybe due to the field conditions like we were talking about, but they just didn't have the amount, I think, of dangerous chances that they did in that first leg. They had a few, and I use dangerous chances very loosely because there was not much going on, I think, for their side. And at the end of the day, I think that Inter Miami knew what they were dealing with. They saw the pitch conditions. They know they have a game coming up on this weekend. They know that the series it was pretty much over with. I think that they just wanted to take care of themselves. They wanted to play good enough to win, good enough to get the result, and try to make sure that they were ready for next game. And that's what they did. Quite unfortunate for Ruiz. Nice to see Messi come in and score a goal. I don't think personally that he looked either way of the on either extreme. I don't think he played poorly, and I don't think he played the best we've ever seen him, and that's fine because he's coming in after missing 3 games, after coming into a field and a result that was already finished. So to see him score, that was really good, and I liked it. I enjoyed it, and Suarez, great penalty kicker. What else could you wish for? We're going back pretty much healthy, other than Ruiz, which hopefully he gets he comes back really quick.
Yeah, bouncing off of what you said, to be honest, it sucked that Ruiz went down because you just never want an injury, especially with all the games that we're gonna have to be playing this year. And so hopefully, it looked like he pulled his hamstring. Looks like it'll be gone for a while, but hopefully he can recover pretty quickly. But I mean, and yeah, and in regards with Messi, people, I mean, I did see a couple of people say that he wasn't really looking the best, and I honestly didn't really notice anything that really made me look like, oh wow, like Messi's not really looking like 100%. I mean, like he missed 3 games. He's got to get loose. He's got to get warm again. And honestly, like he did what he had to do, and at the end of the day, he ended up scoring. So it's like, did he really look that rough? Like, did he really look that bad?
But did anybody look their best in this game? I don't think anybody really looked their best. I don't think that's what this was about. I think that everybody knew what they were trying to do, and I think at the top of everybody's mind was, I want to make sure I leave this game healthy, and they did that. Nobody stood out. Nobody had a really poor game. This was just a very like lackluster game, I think. And it's weird to say a 2-0 game is lackluster, but it was very like it was
it was bad. No, it was very bad.
I think it was I think after a few minutes, maybe saying Messi was not sharp as usual. I agree in terms of like technical, like some passes, some of the runs, some of the things he was opportunities weren't his normal 1,000,000% best player in the world. But I was just so happy from a physical standpoint because I thought physically he looked good as normal. You know, the sprints, the runs, the maneuverability looked good, and I was just happy about that. We thought, you know, when we had our episode yesterday, obviously a lot of opinion, a lot of back and forth, a lot of unknowns, right? Like we did not know what was going to happen. And, you know, if Inter Miami maybe understandably did not put Messi in the second half of the game because of pitch conditions, because of aggregate, I think we would have all understood, but it would have kept that alarm bell ringing, right? Because we still would have not seen him play yet. And while those were very good reasons, same could be said for Sunday against Charlotte, down 10 men, good reason. All of these things could be true, but the longer it went with Messi not playing, the more questions would be asked. But a lot of questions answered, which is that he played a very strong 40 minutes plus. He looked good. He's getting back in the swing. You imagine that he's going to be working his way back to full fitness. Obviously, we'll play in Argentina, but you know, now the next question is he going to play in Atlanta on the turf?
So
we'll see.
Question. I mean, I think we went through that so many times last season, and when he got here, is he going to play on turf? Is he going to play on turf? And he said he grew up playing on turf. He said that he wasn't afraid of playing on turf. He did play on turf a few times, so I think
but that was in the playoffs, and that was not 5 days before Argentina versus Brazil and Uruguay. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
It's like
what you're saying is correct. There's always context to everything, right? And as you said, I think he was injured. I regardless of what they say, I think he was injured these last 3 games. And what you said, he's got Argentina coming up. Does he just came back from injury? Is he going to want to risk it? I don't know. I really don't. But as you guys said, and you were trying to convince me last time when I was going kind of, I need him to play. I need him to play. It's early on in the season. I go back and forth on these things just because I think it's an ever-changing situation, right? Like the games are different, schedules are different. So I can feel a certain way one moment, and the next day I kind of, kind of come back.
But yeah, at the end of the day, we want to see him play as much as possible.
That's what's important.
But like literally, there's only been 3 games of the MLS regular season, and now we've played a couple of CONCACAF champions. So it's like we're barely a month in. So we're barely like a month into the season. So we have plenty of time to see Messi play throughout the season. So as long as he doesn't get re-injured again.
Look, here as a soccer fan, a football fan, Obviously, I want Messi to play for Inter Miami as many games as he can. I think he needs to do it, as I've made very clear last episode, which if you go through the YouTube comments, I got drilled on him, which is completely fine. And I actually had to defend you on one, Matt, just so when you get a chance, go read through it and you see I got that. But so
knowing me, of course, everyone loves what I have to say.
But so when being a soccer fan and a football fan, man, like, okay, I want him to play for Inter Miami, but if that's what it takes, him not playing, for him to be ready to play against Uruguay and Brazil, like I am all for it.
I honestly think today, like, we'll wait and see because we just really never know, and we'll see what the context looks like for Atlanta. But I think in Messi's head, and even in Inter Miami's head, he was gonna always play the second half of this match, just to be able to reset expectations, to get him back on, back playing, get some minutes on him, knowing, he is going to go to Argentina, and there's no way like he wasn't going to go, and there's no way he wasn't going to play in those games. And so everyone had to make sure they figured out how they wanted to proceed, right? And so I think unless it was like 5-0 in the first half and like 3 ACL injuries, like I think he was coming in the second half no matter what the situation was. I'm just happy him, Ian Frey, especially. I was just watching Ian Frey, honestly, for the last 15 minutes, and I'm like, why hasn't he been subbed out? Why hasn't he been subbed out?
They were going hard on him at times.
He had a hell of a match, really.
Yeah,
he did. And so he deserves a lot of credit. Everyone does. Let's go back to the segment that I started as of yesterday, which is success versus struggle, rating player in match performance. Yeah, who wants to go first? If no one knows yet, I can go first, but you tell me.
Go ahead. It's your segment.
Yeah.
I mean, player ratings isn't like, the most novel invention, but I'll take credit. Yeah, so my success player is Tadeo Allende. Again, he didn't get the goal this time, but he got the penalty and created the goal for Luis Suarez. Played the whole 90 minutes at a very strong level, continuing to show, I think, why, hell of a signing, better than any of us thought so far. And, obviously I don't think he's going to keep that goal scoring form for all 10 months. That'd be really, really impressive. But so far done exactly what's been asked of him, if not overachieving, drew the penalty. Another great match for him.
I'm struggling, no pun intended, to name my struggling player because I named him last time as my player that struggled, and it's Cremas.
We'll start with your success. Start with your success then.
Look, all right, success.
I'll say him for struggle. So you say your success.
So my success is going to be Messi because he successfully played without getting injured. He got back into rhythm. He scored a goal at the end. And I think that overall, where it was, again, not the most captivating game, I think he pulled through for the fans. And that's what's important. Yeah. Every time the camera panned over to the fans, they were having a blast. They were smiling. Man, it must be fun in Jamaica because those guys were, man.
It looks fun.
Yeah, there were Argentina jerseys everywhere, Inter Miami jerseys, and Messi brought the show at the end, right before the game ended, and it just makes me happy that the people that have never seen him in their country were able to get a nice surprise, a game with the cherry on top like that. So for that, I'm saying Messi was my success story, and then struggle. Yeah, I don't care. I'll do it. It was Kremaski. Kremaski for me again is still struggling to find his form before injury and when he looked his best last season. I think that he's a guy that's very promising, a guy that's very talented, a guy that's still very young. So I don't want to be too harsh on him. He's still got a lot of learning to do. Obviously, being played in a position he's not used to, but other than the positioning, there are actually things that he should be doing no matter what position he's in that I think he's struggling where he wasn't struggling before. And that main thing is passing. I think he's having a really tough time passing the ball when he's hesitant. He's very hesitant. That's the word. He's unsure what to do with the ball. And I texted this in our group chat. There was one play where Messi was making a run into space, and Kremaski either had the option to put in the pass with his left or the tres dedos or with the outside part of his right foot. That would have been beautiful. And Messi maybe would have had a scoring chance, and he didn't do it. He actually ended up passing, I forgot to who, on the left side, and it really killed the momentum, killed the play. So I think that if he can kind of get his confidence back, maybe we can see the Kremaski that we really came to enjoy watching play and wanting to be on this team.
I'll bounce off of that because I think we can all agree that he was the struggling player the player that struggled the most on the pitch today. And it's just at the end of the day, it just comes down to that, as the confidence. I honestly didn't realize how much this mental portion of his game is affecting everything else in his game, if that makes sense. So it's like you said, Gian was texting in our group chat while the game was happening, and it's like, damn, like this guy's really lacking confidence, and he's getting nervous, and he's like second guessing everything, and it's really, really affecting him, which really sucks because like I said in the last episode, I really like Gramashi, and like what everything Gian said, he's young, he has a promising talent, he plays for the U.S. men's national team, so we know he is capable of great things, and he's currently in the slump right now, which hopefully we can see him, fight out of it and come out on top pretty soon because, like you said, outside of the positioning thing, he should be doing things, like just better. Like he's capable of doing a lot better than what he's able to do now.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's able to fight out of this slump. For my success, I'll be different. And I'm gonna go with, I just really liked Maxi Falcon. And maybe
Yep.
it's because we just haven't seen a lot of Maxi so far. But just so far from what we've seen from Maxi, like everything has just been great. Like his aggressiveness, his passion, his intellect, it's just all at a really high level. And it's not something that we have been used to in the past. And just seeing him is like a real breath of fresh air. And honestly, like I just feel so confident having Maxi Falcon in that back line. And I don't know if Cavalier is the team to kind of like compare it to, right? Where they weren't really that threatening offensively. But I think regardless, having somebody like Maxi Falcon in our back line is something that we could really, really be confident in and look forward to for the rest of the season. So, and he just makes us look good back there, and it makes us very safe. So I'm gonna go with Maxi.
There was one play where he, like, I think it was towards the end of the game where a ball was put into the area and then he whiffed on it or something happened, and the commentators were like, "Oh, there was an error, or there's Maxi. He made a mistake." And before they even finished saying it, he had already covered it, like gotten the ball out. Crazy, like it was so good. He's really good, and it's awesome that like you can actually you actually have confidence in this defense where you didn't have it last season, and he's a huge part of it.
Yeah, no,
100%.
definitely our biggest signing, probably, or a really, really good signing from Mascherano. So I'm very happy to see what else he can do or what more he can do for the season.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna mention him next. Like Maxi Falcon, absolutely outstanding performance. I think success could also be for the whole entire Inter Miami defense. That back line,
Yeah.
Ian Frey, excellent game. Noah Allen, another excellent game. If it's me and I'm having my best four in the back right now, I think it's Ian Frey, Maxi, Noah Allen, and Alba. I think it's what we saw today. I think that is your best back line, even if Chelo's healthy, even if Aviles is, healthy and available. Lujan too, there could be some rotation, but man, I think that's your best four, and Maxi Falcone has been excellent. I think all of the signings so far, I mean, the top 3 Inter Miami signings could be, you would say it's Falcone, it's Segovia, and it's Allende, and they have all been outstanding to start this Inter Miami season. So yeah, deserves a lot of success all around.
And there was no cards. I don't know if you got we got no cards.
There
I didn't
was
even
no
realize
cards.
that.
You're right.
didn't
It
realize
really felt
and
weird.
that's with Aviles in the game. We had 0 cards, so I think that was really, really
Yeah.
good. That's something that we've
Look
kind
at
of been struggling with. So I thought that.
Look at
that
that.
was good. But yeah, no, it was. I mean, I feel like we're getting a lot out of a game that not much happened, but.
Honestly, at halftime, I was gonna be like, "Man, guys, we just want to do the stream. Like, I think it's gonna be kind of a nothing burger game." I mean,
Ashley was
Messi
like,
comes
"Oh,
on
falling
and
asleep like this."
yeah,
19
Messi comes on.
shots.
And,
Inter Miami 19 shots, 6 shots on target,
Yeah.
66 possession. I mean, just a really dominant.
We were all over them. Like we were all over them. They couldn't handle it. They were a really young team too. I mean, like we have to give. I want to give some credit to Cavalier. Like their oldest player, I think, is like 25 years old,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah,
think that's their
yeah.
goalkeeper. And like I
Super
think a
young.
winger. I'm like, damn. Like they're super young, and they very rarely probably play in front of 35,000 people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, just credit to them for doing the best that they could and trying to get somewhat of a result. But
Yeah, I think maybe moving to that stadium maybe helped them financially, but
Sure.
it probably maybe affected their game. I mean,
yeah, it got them nervous. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame them if they
Yeah.
were super nervous.
they looked a lot better here at Chase Stadium. I really thought when we left that game, I was like, okay, this could have been a 2-1. This could have been a 2-2. Like they came in there with a plan. They stuck to it and they did well. But this just wasn't the same game. This was a completely different looking Cavalier team. Thankfully for us, because we didn't have to overexert ourselves. So at the end of the day, we made it to the quarterfinals, and that's awesome. Like we got knocked out last time in the quarterfinals. So I think that this time, deeper team, better team, healthier team, I think we definitely have a bigger shot of making it. And Rayados got knocked out.
Yeah.
By Vancouver. So that
yes,
they're the ones that
That's
knocked
right.
us out in quarterfinals, and that was a huge. That was a Mexican juggernaut from Liga MX. So, and who are we playing now? I think
LAFC.
LAFC. Okay,
Which will be difficult, but it will be. Yeah, I think we're in a much better
gonna be a
position
tough
this
game.
year than we were last year. Unbeaten in the league, unbeaten in Champions Cup, so that's now eight matches on eight matches in a row, right? Unbeaten. So the team is really showing out, and yeah, I mean, obviously the story is Messi is back. The stories in Miami advance. Outside of that, I mean, this may not be the longest post-game live stream we've ever had because I don't know if there's that many other things to talk about. I think it was just a step in the right direction. Mascherano continuing to make good plays. I will say, if Messi had gotten hurt during that 35 minutes he played, there would have been hell to pay for Inter Miami and Mascherano because everyone would have been like, why the hell did he play? But woulda, coulda, shoulda. We'll never know because he played, he scored, he played well, working his way back. Everyone ended on a good note. Only positive things to say, right? Positive vibes only. That's where we're at right now.
That's what we're here for.
We got the result. Pretty healthy Messi. We're going to quarterfinals. We're going up against an LA team that could be difficult, but still, I think that we're in a good position. So, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with where we're at right now in the season. And Mascherano has done really good. It surprised me, and I'm really happy with him. So,
agreed. I think that's all we have to say. In the comments, let us know who was your successful player of the match, who is your struggle player. Are you? I'm sure you're happy to see Messi back. Do you think he's going to play Sunday? Lots of questions. What are your thoughts on this team? How far do we think Inter Miami can go? It'll be a very exciting. I keep saying this every episode, but it's true. It's an exciting season. Every game, every day is exciting as an Inter Miami fan and as a Messi fan. So as always, make sure you are following us on X at Messi and Co, where we're breaking down the latest news. Sorry, I passed my bedtime.
The
Breaking
teleprompter
down
went off.
the latest news, team announcements, live stream commentary of the game, injuries, best performances, all that stuff. So make sure you're following us at Messi and Co. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube at 5 Reasons Football so you know when we put out new episodes and when we go live like we did just now. Thank you so much for joining. I'm Ashley. That is Gian. That is Matt. And we will see you next time.
See ya.
See ya.